Welcome to this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters, the podcast we chart the cinematic legacy of the classic monsters. I'm John Campbell. With me as always, Brendan Jones.
Oh, it's not just me today. We have a friend with us, I know you're about to introduce, who suffered, in quotes, along with us, watching this film.
Yeah, we have as we continue with the Twilight Saga. Love that they'd throw that shit out there.
It is a saga.
It's a saga, man. It's The Godfather and it's Twilight, man. These are the sagas of cinema. But continuing with our always having guests on these episodes, because we don't fucking know about any of this, Olivia Gray is with us.
Woo!
Olivia, you've gone from Anne Rice to Stephanie Meyer now on this show.
God.
Step down?
I'm not sure that's a very good...
It is appropriate, though, because we do have Anne Rice to thank almost directly for these books.
Anne Rice apparently had quite an impact on a Mormon woman who doesn't believe in anything below the waist until the bonds of marriage.
In fact, I mean, so much so it doesn't exist. It's like you're a Barbie or Ken doll up until you put that ring on with her.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
This is a movie in which a 109-year-old man proposes marriage to an 18-year-old girl at the end.
Hey,
of it.
whoa!
Spoilers!
Spoiler alert! We got to put a spoiler warning on this thing now. Yeah, Olivia, as I ask everyone who comes on here, when we do these movies, at least, and one of the reasons is we are bringing people on who were the target audience when these were new. Were you a Twilight fan? And if so, what level of fandom and how did you engage with it?
So I have, I was very, briefly. I read all of them when they came out. By the time the movies happened, I was already kind of on the path to righteousness, and
that pull you back.
That was very
because they were so hyped when they were coming out,
and that makes sense, of course, because you're very close friends with Elliot, who was on the first one and had a very similar reaction of fan of the book. But by the time the movies were coming out, we're gonna have an interesting thing because the third one of these we're gonna have my sister on for, who's a little bit younger than you two, and so caught where all the books were already out and the movies were really like fired the fandom even bigger, or whatever.
Wow.
Words unseen.
I actually, my reasoning for like getting out of being a fan of the books was because shout out to my grandma Hazel, who was really into like reading all of the books that all of us kids were reading.
Oh, cool.
She
grandma.
read it. Yeah, because she also read me the Animorph series. Like, she was total cool grandma.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, he becomes a caterpillar. I don't know why he's doing that.
But my cousin and I were both into this book series, so she was like, "Oh, I'll read it." Read the first two and was like, "Listen, you guys need to read this again and really think about it while you're reading it.
Think about what you've done. Think about what you've done."
She was like, "I'm uncomfortable."
Yeah.
And you guys need to be as well.
Yeah.
Do you see some of the messages in this and how troubling this material is? Plus, she's not that good of a writer.
No.
That's the thing you were talking about, Brendan, before we started recording, that you can't, because there is well-written YA fiction. You can't just write it off.
No.
And it's very easy to, because they separated in the way it's presented and spoken of often, but oftenly. I'm making up words now. But like you can engage with it. It's just it's almost not a genre, right? It just means it's about younger people and it's kind of aimed at that demographic.
Sure.
But in the case, I think Twilight did a lot to really give YA fiction a bad name. That did not help by any stretch of imagination.
I mean, there are things that take off. I mean, obviously, this is not a master plan by Stephanie Meyer, so it did hit a vein. Was it well published? It was well published,
yes.
As in advertised. It had, I always say, even the book jackets. They nailed stuff that made it seem attractive. And I will say this, if you aim anything at young adults that is about the tortured feelings of romance, male or female, they will respond because in their minds, and I remember this from being an adolescent, in their minds, love is this weird, tragic, mysterious thing, and I read plenty of schmaltzy, heavy stuff because I was like going, that's what I'm going through.
I mean, I think we had, I had John Cusack movies or John Hughes movies were that for me.
Well, except for, those are actually funny, and they are written from the perspective of an older person looking back at it.
But they were that for me, where it is like, and those are consciously.
Stephenie Meyer is writing from the mindset of someone in that period.
Yeah.
And I look at the romance so far in the 2 movies I have seen, and I haven't read the books.
Yeah.
And I just sit there going, where is any joy? Where is any? This is so overwrought that even Shakespeare himself would have gone, dude, I put in like a funny nurse in Romeo and Juliet. It's like there's laughs here and there. It's like even my tragedies aren't this hardcore.
But you know what? For a 13-year-old who has just experienced sadness, true sadness for the first time in their life, it hits. It hits.
Is porn. This is romance torture porn. What it is.
That's the thing that gets me. And I've brought this up on the first movie because he brings it up in almost every review. Of course, the great Roger Ebert, who I frequently quote. But his big thing always with the character of Edward was like, I don't get why she likes him. He never says anything funny.
I know.
He's just so dour. He's just so unfun.
He's dour and tortured. She is tortured because of that, and the whole. It's just, that whole.
I
thing.
never thought I would say this,
movie.
And it's not like he's a lot better. I'm a little bit Team Jacob.
At the end of this thing,
he's got a little bit of life in him.
What that whole thing was about,
Yeah.
And after watching this movie, I'm sitting there going, "Oh, so." The one that doesn't get her is the one that actually makes her somewhat happy and smiles and is a warm presence in her life. And I'm like geez, I'm Team Jacob.
The one where she's like, I feel like actually alive when I'm with him, and I feel dead when I think about
dead,
Edward.
But what I really want is, when she's like going, dude, don't force me to choose because it's going to be him. It's always going to be him. It always was him. I'm like going, then poo-poo on you, Bella, because you're just dumb.
Yeah, even if Lautner is objectively the worst actor in these movies.
Yeah, well, there's that.
And he's doing his best,
John,
man.
we
He
get to
just
see
can't.
Thanks to Alice, of life as immortal vampires, Edward and Bella running, traipsing happily through a forest. And she's for some reason, as an immortal, she's gone to very retro ends with like a skirt and a blouse.
It's because when you are finally married and can have sex that is approved by the Lord, then you will be happy.
You will be happy.
That is the myth.
And I think automatically you move to a rural area and traipse. You have to traipse.
Yeah.
That's
in your trad wife dress, yes.
That's the thing that's amazing about this to me. Watching this, and I really felt it on this one.
They look Mormon in that scene. They both look very Mormon.
That's the thing I was going to say. Particularly watching this one the other day, these are Christian films that just never actually talk about Christianity. But in every other way, they are every other faith-based drama I've ever seen.
It's not going to get better from here.
I don't.
Fellas, strap in.
I know it doesn't because I do know at least
a lot
in
of
broad
the big
strokes where the
points
story
have been ruined and talked about. So I'm really looking forward to the birth scene. But anyway. Boy,
let's
not there yet.
Let's dive in though. Oh well, first we got
to
talk about the poster, obviously.
Okay,
as we always do.
They're always the same though, John. Do we really need to? It's always just big heads.
Well, yeah, but this one
logo.
Yeah, but this one though that really emphasizes the and I think I'll have to ask. My sister might have had this poster.
Oh, really?
Because this to me is the quintessential Twilight poster because it's the 3 of them. And it's the
iconic one,
yeah. It's the dour because from the outside perspective of not really engaging with any of these and only seeing trailers, posters, things like that, I'm just like, oh, so the whole thing is a romantic triangle. that was the thing that shocked me when we watched the first movie, is how little Jacob is in it, and it really isn't. It's just like the hint of that. That's also becoming my new overarching problem with these movies, is every single movie is just setting up other stuff. Nothing actually happens. We'll talk about the Volturi in this one. I will say, where it's just like, we'll be back in a later movie. Yeah.
Over the course of 2+ hours of this thing.
Oh, yeah, the audacity to be 130 minutes on this
There's
thing.
a lot of nothing happening, and then suddenly, crazy bad shit.
But also like
Italy. Yeah. I mean, it's like, what is going on?
Insane. But yeah, no. Specifically, the poster is it's moody Edward looking over his shoulder at Jacob, who's basically like, "You better stay away from my girl."
And she's like, "I can't decide, but I'm going to feel his bicep."
But also, despite the fact, I think 2 of these people are very talented actors at the very least on this poster. My God, this is not burying the lead. This is how boring their performances will be in this movie. Look at those blank expressions.
Yeah, just dead. Yeah.
I think she does better, but only because the movie is Bella's thing. Edward in this one is kind of out of it for quite a while.
He's mostly a ghost.
And there is nothing funnier to me than all of the ghost Edward stuff. Every time he popped up, I laughed so hard.
So a very, very fun fact about this is that in the books, it is not, it is only auditory hallucinations that she experiences.
So she's literally thrill-seeking just so she can hear his voice in his head instead of seeing Ghost Edward.
And in post-production, when people were like, these weird, goofy Ghost Edwards are strange and not in the books, Robert Pattinson was like, no, it was even cheesier to just have my voice. They added that in afterwards.
Now, I would have thought that would be like a thing where it's just like, because obviously coming off the success of the first movie, when the studio gets the second script and they're like, whoa, our like main hunk isn't in this thing for the vast majority, we gotta find a way to drop him in here and there. I feel like that
get him in there.
Well, I mean,
we got to get that face in there,
but
man.
I can see that he is already checked out. I felt that in the first movie. He has nothing to play, and whether or not
actually that's the material, thing. I don't know if he's checked
sitting
out.
There going like, I have nothing to act other than the same note. Yeah. She, at least, with the movie on her shoulder, is trying, and yet all she is called upon to do is, a few night terror scenes, but mainly her just biting her lower lip and just kind of moping, and then kind of cheering up around Jacob. So she does better in this, I think. And then
better
Lautner
is still,
raises his game to probably the highest we'll get from Lautner.
That's the thing.
He's at least charming-ish and hunky.
Yeah, but it is sort of like, this is, Stewart and Pattinson are both like, the potential we're not seeing yet, but it's all there. And Lautner is like, you enjoy it, man. This is the big one. It's Kevin James.
And then we have people like Anna Kendrick just shoved over in the corner.
Boy, there's even
what is happening in a world where
big note.
What is that about?
Big note. Big criticism of this second one: less Kendrick than the first one, and that's a huge problem.
Yep. Also, we need to talk about Bella and her friend group, but we're not there yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off. Let's start talking about this thing because it's 2.5 hours long. And
Brendan, don't you want me to reveal the extremely thrilling and creative tagline to this?
Oh, it's really good. Go ahead.
The next chapter begins.
Get it? Because it's a book.
Yeah, the next chapter begins.
That's
By the way,
awesome.
Across the board, I don't have any alt taglines on this. They hit that and they went, every language, every release, that's our tagline. Again, the next chapter begins.
That PR firm or whoever, they took an early lunch. The next chapter begins.
Boom.
Done.
You have to think that the people working on this know that it is just cash-making dreck that they're working on.
They didn't have to work very hard. This audience was already going to... Because the first movie was a huge bomb. Bomb as in, like...
culturally. Okay,
it was a huge hit.
This one, by the way, $50 million production budget, $711 million gross worldwide.
I would say that was a success.
That's insane. That's just ridiculous. But that is a lot of my thoughts in this movie.
It all went to those wolves, man. All right.
Well, that's kind of my thought throughout a lot of the movie is like, why doesn't this look better? Why? And I'm going like, oh, because the audience that's going doesn't care that any moments of action aren't kinetic at all or interesting, and it's weirdly shot. We should mention.
I liked one action bit.
Okay.
I now understand why. What's her name? Who I like. Who plays. In the two movies, Victoria. I see why she bailed, because here she's kind of a threat, but she gets no dialogue.
Yeah, I think by the time she actually becomes a threat, I think in the next movie she's played by a different actress.
Yes, I did like her and Wolf chase scene. I thought that was pretty well done, and the way they had her
on that note, I do want to mention that we've swapped directors here. Same screenwriter, Melissa Rosenberg, who will write all of these, but Chris White.
She nailed it.
Well, we've talked about Rosenberg. It's a thing where my defense of Rosenberg is just like, what are you gonna do? Like, because she goes on to showrun Jessica Jones after this, which I love. So she's certainly a talented writer.
Yes.
It also is a very faithful and good adaptation of these books.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like
a thing that often is done poorly, adapting literature to the screen.
Yeah,
this is a very representative.
I think that was
piece of work.
I think that was sort of a point we made on the first movie too. It's just like the big flaws are already there. Like it's not like the movie. Yes. It's not like the book is some work of genius. The movie's. You know, it's already going to be a loss for us. Like, we're already not going to like it just because of the material, and they're not going to. Anyway, I do think overall this is a better directed film than the first movie.
Yes.
I think it looks better. I think it moves better. I think there are some of that maybe on the script. I think the performances are better. I think hiring Chris Weitz, because Catherine Hardwicke, who directed the first movie, primarily a production designer. And then has segued into directing films. But I think that really showed. It was a lot about, we talked, like, that horrible blue filter is gone in this movie, thank God.
Yeah, but there are other filters.
Okay, Brendan, filters are not...
It's that time period, too.
This is an ongoing argument. Color filters on a film are not inherently a problem for me, but...
No, but they can just be something to lean on too much.
Anyway,
I will say they capture very well the look of someone cliff diving in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, you would crystallize. Mm-hmm. Your blood would freeze instantly. Yeah. Those wolves with their shirts off, I'm like, oh, God, I hope they were paid well. Because they have to have been freezing.
The rain scene made me so sad for that reason.
I know. I know. Mm-hmm. I bet they were sitting there like with a heater, right off the frame.
I mean, I know the answer to this, of course, because it is about the target audience. But there are several scenes where I'm like, must he not have a shirt on right now? Like, there are just times when it's just like,
he must not. Oh, and
this is just a conversation.
How dare you suggest?
I know.
At some point, we also need to talk about magic shorts.
Yeah.
Because
I knew that was coming up.
We're going to talk about it. Anyway, let's get started.
All right.
We haven't even started.
Note number 1, first thing, is this the longest amount of time it takes to actually reveal the words of a title in the history of film? The amount of time that it's going...
I don't know. They really... What I like is the way the moon just pops on the screen, like, boom!
Yeah, the moon shows up, and then it's...
incredibly slow, kind of eclipse thing, and then,
Which is interesting, because the next one is actually eclipse, so...
Huh?
Yeah.
They have to set up pacing for the rest of the movie, and very slow is...
Yeah. They really did bring this in.
This thing
and the first words we hear are a quote from Romeo and Juliet. We still haven't seen her yet, but we hear the quote, which was, "These violent delights have violent ends."
Which, of course, I immediately am like, I know it is from Romeo and Juliet, but I'm like, Westworld? Yeah. That's just me, maybe. All right.
Well, that is just you. I'm just sitting
John
there going,
brings it back to Robot Show.
In my mind, I'm sitting there going, little on the nose there, don't you think, movie?
I will say
to be topped. Seconds later. Yeah. But because in case you missed it, she's asleep with the book Romeo and Juliet right next to her head. I'm like, God, hello.
And you thought that was the end of the Romeo and Juliet?
When she goes to school, guess what they're watching?
Romeo and Juliet.
Oh.
And then guess what
masterful foreshadowing, guys.
And then the movie just stops while Pattinson just recites Romeo and Juliet for like 10 minutes too.
Oh, I know.
My God.
And we get right here at the top, the first of 3 dream sequences in one movie.
Oh, and I love it. Dream sequences are never overused in film. They are always perfectly used.
Oh, but this one really hits home.
Yeah, this one really works.
Bella is looking across a field. She sees her grandma, and she's like, "Hey, Grandma!" She waves. Grandma waves back. She gets closer, and Edward's next to me. This is awesome. Let me introduce him to my grandma. She gets right up to Grandma, and she's like, and she's got her arm around Edward. And then weirdly, Grandma has her arm out and is around nothing. And she's like, "I want you to meet Edward." But what's weird is Grandma's saying the same words. She's like, "Oh shit, that's not Grandma. That's me as Oldie."
The subtlety, subtlety from moment one.
And he's like, "Happy birthday, Bella. You're very old."
Dead on Edward impression too.
I know. I've been working on it. And then she wakes up going, "I'm gonna get old, and he's a vampire."
Okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Whomst among us hasn't turned 18 and immediately began to freak out about her own mortality?
Yeah. Well, because
come on.
She also, because we have, by the way, my favorite character in the franchise, her father, played by the great Billy Burke, who, one of the reasons he's my favorite character is he is the only one with any light or sense of humor or anything to any charm.
He's in a different movie and a different world, and I assume at some point he will learn the secrets. But it's pretty amazing to me with all that goes on in the first movie and then this one.
I did think by the end of this one,
sheriff.
He's not a good cop.
He can't
be.
He's
not a good cop
because they're just literally
people dropped by mysterious animals.
Flies. Yeah.
Yeah, he's never too alarmed about
fishing. He's hanging out with his buddies fishing.
Sheriff, we found more massacred bodies. He's like, that sucks.
Oh man, that's awful. I'm gonna get right on that.
I do like that Stephenie Meyer's concept of a dad is, what does a dad do? Vague, I hope you feel better, and then he leaves to go hang out with his buds.
I don't know how to deal with teenage girls, so I will say this, I will be supportive, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. When you start having night terrors, I'm going to send you to your mom.
Yeah, you got to get out of here. I also like that anytime he's not with his buds, he's just watching sports with a can of beer.
That is kind of the experience of the American dad.
Well, and even the mustache is like, because he's a cop, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You get it?
He comes in.
But I do like him in this. I like him in both movies because he is this little pocket of normalcy.
Well, they cast a very good actor. Mm-hmm. That is the biggest compliment I can give to this franchise is they keep casting really good actors in like small roles.
Very true.
Which almost makes you go, is this good? No, it's not. But these people are raising it up to like watchable, at least. The
thing that you won't hear us say, and I'm saying this to our listeners and to you, Olivia, is that in any way these people are bad. I mean, Lautner's not a great actor, but
even Lautner's,
he's of a piece with this.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there going like, the Cullens, they're well cast. We might see them only 8 minutes in this movie out of 2.5 hours.
That is the thing. You're like,
well,
can I watch a movie about Peter Facinelli and
when
Elizabeth
Michael
Reeser?
Sheen shows up, I'm like going, Michael Sheen, you're everything to me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.
Brendan,
because
you know we're only a
life gets injected into the movie. Weirdly, from a vampire.
Well, somebody's very happy to be here. If there's one person who's happy to be here, it's Mr. Sheen. But I was going to say, Brendan,
delighting.
In a couple weeks, we are going to be talking about Underworld: Rise of the Lycans, which is going to be all Sheen all the time.
All Sheen, and I'm ready. I'm ready.
But
I'm not that huge of a fan of that series either, but good actors having fun.
That guy always has a good time. That's one of the things I love about Sheen as an actor. Anyway, it's not only is she turned 18, is her birthday also the first day of senior year? It seems like.
Apparently.
Yeah. That That sucks.
Happy birthday. I thought I wasn't going to get any presents, and I want to keep it on the DL.
Well, yeah,
and
because,
that goes on for the next
like you were
20
talking
minutes.
about Olivia.
Don't tell people it's my birthday, and everyone knows.
At 18, to be like, oh, don't even say it's my birthday. Ugh.
And then the whole gag when Edward shows up, and she's like, you're dating an older woman. I'm not 17. I'm 109.
Mm-hmm.
It's By the way, he actually says it's like weird for me to be dating you. It's like
it. They actually address the main weirdness, but they just get off that topic real quick. It's sort of like she's like going, "This doesn't seem right." Well, I mean, it is weird, right? Plus, my thought is always like, why are they still in school? Why did they keep going to school?
I think we spent a half hour on that on the last episode. We did about because it makes
also,
no sense.
He says 109. He gives us an exact number.
Yeah.
And then later on, he says something like, "Oh, I haven't been this happy," or "No, this is the worst thing that's happened to me in 100 years." And I'm like going, "So your life took a dark turn at 9?"
Chris literally said the exact, because he was my watch partner for this.
Oh, yeah.
Watch partner.
Said the exact same thing. He was like, what happened to him at 9?
I'll tell you, Olivia.
Expecting there to be some dark lore stuff? No,
don't
expect the stupid writing.
Yeah, the stupid writing. They don't expect anyone to be paying attention. And the sad thing is, I always do. And I'm like, wait a minute.
The ages of these characters are so... They shouldn't put years on them by having 109, and then also they don't care at the same time.
No, so y'all are gonna get some backstory for all the Cullens coming up in the next couple movies.
Something's got to be in there. Something's got to fill.
Well, there was
3 more movies
and weird bit at the end with the when they're doing the votes, and the blonde Cullen lady was like, "I wish someone would have voted no for me. This is not the life I would have chosen." I'm like, "You've had no depth at all, and suddenly I'm slightly interested in your backstory." What do you mean?
She's the bitchy one. That's been her whole thing. She's bitchy.
And it'll be
but now there's
and it'll be revealed to you. The backstory will be revealed to you, and you'll be like, "Why the hell is this in a kid's book? That seems fucked up."
Oh boy!
Oh, are we gonna get
ready, you guys?
We have a few weeks.
It's gonna get crazy.
No, I am glad that we take at least. We're not doing all of these in a row, or else I might not survive.
I would, because I was bored in this. I mean,
it's pretty
not
boring.
Good.
It's pretty boring.
Yeah.
But I will say, and this is me. I'll go ahead. I'm always the creepy one. Looking at that face, Kristen Stewart has this beautiful face. And the movie knows it. And so, looking at her for the entire film, I was just like,
both her and Pattinson. Yeah, it's all about.
Yeah, but
does the movie know it? Because she says in that Romeo and Juliet scene, "Oh yeah, I guess she looks okay. If you like that classical beauty, it's like you're the most averagely beautiful person in this movie."
I think that in the books, you'll have to tell me because you've read them, is she supposed to be like attractive but in a plain way?
Yeah, or beautiful, but she doesn't know it. Kind of.
My favorite trope:
a beautiful young woman, and you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
She also doesn't look like she's in high school, but none of them do, so that's okay.
No,
they all look like they're in their mid-20s. But I do want to talk about she's talking to her friends. Hey, it's senior year, blah blah blah, and then, my God, once again, one of our big. These vampires never fucking hide that they're vampires. Edward Cullen rolls up, takes up 5 parking spots, and then walks in slow motion with his shirt billowing, basically screaming, "I'm a vampire, everybody."
Yeah. Yeah, he is doing the Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, and then...
I'm a vampire! Vampire!
Yeah, and then later, like, there's a scene with, is it Alice? Is that Ashley Greene's character, I think, is...
Yes.
Where she just like leaps over the banister of the school stairs and lands and and I was just like, oh yeah, we're really trying to hide that we're supernatural figures. She's just like, hey Bella.
There are so many violations of the rules that Stephenie Meyer sets up, and that she's letting them.
Well, because this one is intensely about not only do they not want to be outed, if they are outed, there are dire consequences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Sheen is real cross about that.
Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, so
okay, so yes, they're watching oh no, before that, Jacob also shows up. I love that every single main character assembles in the parking lot of the school in this first scene. Basically,
but that's what you do.
Yeah, but they also make a point of
high school.
Well, they make the point because it was in the last movie too, and I thought that here because shockingly I did remember Jacob doesn't go to this school, but he's like, yeah, I decided to stop here to give you your gift, and it's basically just like a check this out, Edward. Right? I got her a gift.
Yes, there's that, but also I'm sitting there going like, "Ooh, Native American representation here."
He's still got the horrible wig too. We should mention
the horrible wig, but he gives her a dream catcher.
Yeah,
and I'm like, Jesus,
man, this is as good a representation.
I bought you this. It is a peace pipe. I got it at the local Stuckey's.
Do they ever say what tribe they are, or are
they do?
Okay,
they are the Quillette tribe, which is an actual tribe in La Push, Washington, and they do not like their representation in these movies.
No,
but we know that they are descended from wolves, right? I mean, that part's true, right?
Because I was watching this going, is this going to be?
And they're protecting us from the cold ones.
Is this going to be a Chakotay on Star Trek Voyager thing where he is just all native tribes in one?
All native tribes whenever you need it. Yeah, I'm not sure Dreamcatchers. That's I think a southwestern Indian tribe kind of thing.
I don't
know. But luckily in the
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest, they you can give that to your friend for a birthday present.
And they all famously, that whole tribe, they all have six packs and don't wear shirts.
They're unbelievably cut.
Yeah.
But they will end up being Garrett Grant.
Admittedly, that is a result of being a werewolf.
This is true. Yeah.
Graham Greene is who I meant.
Graham Greene and Gil
they
Birmingham.
Will get pudgy. Yeah. I know. Great combo.
Once again, two totally wasted, amazing actors in this thing.
Yes.
It's incredible. So anyway, and so now they're this made me laugh that they're watching. I don't know what version is exactly, but it's one of the old black and white versions of Romeo and Juliet. It's not.
They're watching a public domain one that they.
I was gonna say because like I remember in high school we watched the Zeffirelli version, we watched the Baz
did
Luhrmann
too,
one.
including the nudity, and we were warned about it. Thank God they warned me.
Oh wow! I had a teacher put a clipboard up in front of the TV when it happened.
Are you
She's
serious?
Like, nope.
Really?
All right, it's fine now.
Man, I was in a more liberal school in Texas.
We also, Brendan, because of the era I grew up in, we also would get the clean flicks versions of movies sometimes. So
clean flicks.
Yeah.
We edited it for you.
So literally, and I know how much this movie means to you, and I'm a huge fan of it as well. We watched the clean flicks version of Excalibur in a high school English class where we studied Arthurian legend. It's like 25 Yeah, it's all gone. Anyway,
what did Lancelot and Guinevere do? I don't know.
Unclear.
Why is Arthur so mad at them?
Because Arthur's so sad now.
Yeah, and then it was just like, wait, was Helen Mirren in this movie at all? Now I don't.
Right. Yeah. Basically, see-through chainmail outfits.
Yeah, just all of her scenes were eliminated. No, if I remember correctly, it's not to get off on the, but like they would punch in, they would like push the thing in, so you couldn't see the chainmail, but the scenes would still be there, but they would just digitally zoom in on stuff. Yeah,
nice.
They did a lot of that. The thing I was laughing about this though is they're watching like the oldest, creakiest version, and these teen girls are crying. And I'm sorry, this would not be hitting them, even if the play itself resonated with them. If they were watching, even Zeffirelli, I would question, maybe they would be crying at the DiCaprio.
Modern teenagers, even in my day, laughed at all of that. I secretly am just falling in love with Shakespeare's language. And sitting there going, this is awesome, but at the same time, no one was in class crying about Romeo and Juliet.
Olivia,
those girls are not meant to represent a real teenager. Those girls are meant to reflect the reader, who is a very deep, soulful person who loves Romeo and Juliet because they're so intellectual and soulful.
They only show one. I mean, the jokey character who apparently still holds a torch for Bella.
Poor Michael Welch.
He's the only one that's acting like a teenager would, where he's like half asleep or something. You're like, okay,
well, I do like that, like him and Anna Kendrick and Christian Serrano's, like the teen friend she has, are clearly in like a normal teen movie that's happening over there.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it because again, when she goes through literally half a year's worth of clinical depression.
Yeah.
and she goes, I'm all alone. And I'm like, well, who are those people? Aren't they your friends?
Well,
have they not been checking in on you?
If I was them,
she doesn't
I would
share anything with
her.
them. She knows she can't talk about his vampirism, but still, you've been dumped by a boyfriend who moved away.
If you're
Maybe
Anna
they
Kendrick,
should check in on you.
And especially later, there's an insane scene with Anna Kendrick later. If you're her, wouldn't you just be like, fuck this girl? I don't need this in my life. My God. So yes, and of course, because it's Romeo and Juliet, this also leads Edward to go, I thought about taking my own life. I even tried. I thought about, and it's just like, oh boy.
No wonder the ladies can't get enough.
Yeah,
dude. Here's the thing about Pattinson. Of course, now is over very much in our world, Brendan. But even Bruce Wayne would tell this guy to chill out.
Yep.
Even Batman would be like, "It's a little dark, bro."
we know that women, teen girls, they're attracted to the bad boys, but this is a whole subgenre where the girls are attracted to the sad boys.
Yes. Yeah.
Sad boys.
Well, because the movies,
it is about
sometimes they're so that's what it is right? It's for the kind of awkward teenagers who don't feel like they fit in. They feel like they're older and so mature.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's also thought about Oblivion.
Yeah.
He's so hot.
Well, it actually does go back to, in the history of this show, 1931's Dracula, right? Where like they're romantically talking about to be dead, to be in, the darkness.
Yeah, and that makes Dracula very appealing because, I didn't expect this handsome European gent.
That was the first movie we talked about in the show, and that did kick off vampires who do not hide themselves very well.
Yeah.
When that guy immediately rolls into town going like, to be dead, isn't that romantic?
It is great. It would be something, wouldn't it, to be truly dead?
Yeah. And then I love, because I remember teachers that did this, because I was often the guy who... Oh, by the way, I love that the English teacher is English. That really made me... Of course, their English teacher had to be an old British dude.
Yeah, that's pretty rare in the Pacific Northwest to have a Brit teaching
and he's just like...
English class.
Mr. Cullen, I see you talking back there. What was the last thing said in the play? And of course, he knows it verbatim, which is insane.
He's been in... No, it's not insane.
No, it would...
He's 100 years
No, it's
old.
not insane that he knows it. It would be insane, I should say. If you did that, you'd be like...
It would be insane of a teacher to ask that, unless a teacher was just setting out to say, you're an idiot.
Yeah. But even like a student who knows it would be like, I think he's saying this and this, but the idea that he knows every single word, you'd be like,
I do have to say though, yet again, this is catered to a very specific type of senior girl who, if a boy in my high school English class had been able to recite Romeo and Juliet, I would have been like, all right, we're married now.
All right.
Especially if he looks like Robert Pattinson.
Very clear window into Olivia's life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but so, all right. So
I was sad in high school. I don't know what to tell you guys.
No, I had those feelings, so I was just too goofy to actually act them out. So I kept that stuff.
Well, for me, it was like X-Men comics was where that was, that was my jam.
That says a lot.
Like, I feel misunderstood like these mutants.
Oh, am I not Nightcrawler?
Yeah, right, yeah. And like I said, like any angry middle school boy, I was just like, Logan gets it, man. That's me.
Oh.
Deep inside of me is Weapon X.
Oh, wow. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Let's stop with
So anyway,
psychology.
she goes to the Cullens' house. I like just ditching her dad for her birthday. She's gonna go hang out with her real family of vampires, and they're looking at a portrait of the Volturi. This is how we're introduced to the concept of the Volturi, which, man, if there's one thing we know about vampires that we've seen across these movies, they love a hierarchical system, right? Like they love
really do.
People making rules, sitting on councils. We've seen so many of these. The fact that it's Michael Sheen and Vecna from Stranger Things, who, by the way, add him to the list of, we keep seeing people in these movies where they go, apparently this guy auditioned for Edward. And you're like, sure. I see that. Was it Jamie Campbell Brown or Jamie Brown? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Jamie Campbell Bower. Is that?
Bower.
Yeah, makes sense. Very similar build and features as a Pattinson.
Incredibly unbelievable bone structure.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And good for him.
Well, and I mean, good for him. Yeah, he has nothing to do in this. Little did we know he would go on to be like
you have the two other
now.
vampire council guys who just sit on the thrones, and in fact, one of them very specifically is sitting in a way that he never alters. That guy just the one guy who's just over to the side.
The one guy who's a cardboard cutout.
Going and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
That what an easy day at the office for him.
The guy running the show.
Here's the thing about vampires, vampire lords, the ones that are the elders that sit on these councils. I'm like, do they have to dress out of time?
Yes.
Can't they be in modern dress? It's no. They have to have like colonial era.
Well, when we get to when Dakota Fanning rolls in later and she's all in black and
actually. She's pretty awesome for her 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, that is
like, wow, Dakota Fanning as a vampire.
Well, I will say, it is like more Volturi. If you're gonna give me Michael Sheen and Dakota Fanning, and Vecna, I'll stick with these people. They're pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, can we just hang with them? Would that be cool?
But so I also love that it's just like this is in the Cullens' home, is it not?
Yes, this painting.
Yes.
And it's also like she's been there many times, but all of a sudden she's like, hey, what's this?
Just now.
Yeah.
What is this, by the way? Because I wanted to ask, because the people in it seem to move. This is one of those paintings that moves. Yeah. Are we in Hogwarts? Yes, it's so hilarious. They tell the story of the Volturi, and while they're doing it, the figures, the primary figures, as in Martin Sheen's character, Jesus.
Oh, I would love Martin Sheen to roll it. He's the president of vampires.
Yes, Michael Sheen. But they start, like animating, and you're like, oh, God, movie, did we need this?
Wait, man, we had this last week, and we were talking about Wolfsbane, too.
Gotta spend some of that budget.
Yeah. Well, they do have noticeably more money on this thing. That is clear. I'm not saying it still is lower budget as far as like studio films, but it is bumped up from the last movie.
Because we have werewolves.
That was 37 million the first movie. This is 50. So they've got more they've got the director of American Pie. I just think that's what a weird career Chris Weitz has had. That was what he burst on the scene with, and then has continued to make the Chris Rock Heaven Can Wait remake about a boy with Hugh Grant, which is a good movie. And then he does Golden Compass, then this, and then made.
So he became the young adult guy.
Yeah, but then out of this he makes that Oscar Isaac Nazi Hunter movie, Operation Finale. Guy's all over the place, and then he goes
all over the place.
He primarily works as a screenwriter though, and did write Rogue One. So hey man, I'll give him that.
Okay.
Anyway, but it's just interesting. So the whole thing we learned with the Volturi is like the big overarching. Yeah, because I love they're just like because Kristen Stewart's like there are laws of being a vampire. It's like yeah, there are, but there's really only like the one really that's like the big one. And you just gotta be cool, man. Just be chill about. Don't be showing off that you're a vampire, which is so funny because literally we've never seen a vampire character in these movies who doesn't arrive. The whole pack of villains in the last movie.
The freaking open-shirted, like.
And the fact that the Cullens are very chill vampires for the most part, but still feel the need to stay together in a family unit. That is not going to be too subtle.
And not to
and the fact that they move en masse from dark, cloudy city to dark, cloudy city forever, and then circle back to Forks like they've been there before. You're like, what is this?
And they've got one guy in their family who's pretty unhinged and a real loose cannon.
Here's the okay, I need to say it. This is going to be uncomfortable, and I'm very sorry you're here, Olivia. The thing is, what's his name? Jasper?
Jasper.
Yes.
Jasper. Okay, so I love these dumb movies. The fact that she's opening a present and slices her finger open. I'm like, what kind of paper did they wrap?
Not like a paper cut, like it's pouring blood.
Yeah, pouring blood, and then he loses it. Like he's going to attack because there's fresh blood.
Hannibal Lecter.
All my brain thinks forgive me, is he goes to a high school where there will be menstruating female students.
Oh, yeah.
How is he able to even contain himself if just blood present is going to drive that insane?
A high school where people injure themselves?
Yeah.
Beyond
or
that,
just
yes,
in the world.
Why do they let him go outside?
Why do they let him go outside? He has no chill.
Because in the last movie, we saw a little bit of that.
The rest of the family is like, oh God, yeah. Oh no, that's definitely blood there. I'm like, can you not? It just main Cullen guy is like, well, I'm so good with this. I'm fine. I'm a doctor. Let me stitch you up.
Part of this is because I can't even say it with a straight face. Part of the reason that Jasper reacts so badly is because Bella's blood smells better than all other human.
We got
blood.
that in the last movie. The bad guy in the last movie.
How special she is, even though
he's so special, you guys.
One thing. Here's what I don't
just
get
like
too,
you,
and
the reader.
To kind of jump to the end is that Michael Sheen's character. You know, they do the whole. I kind of enjoyed the X-Men sequence of this, where it's sort of like, let's test our powers against her.
Yeah.
And the thing is that she's immune to all vampire powers, apparently. That's awesome. But then when she's like, I want to be one of you guys, I want to be turned, and he's like going, oh, your abilities will make you such a very impressive immortal. And I'm like, her powers to not be affected? How is she going to be like
Brandon,
powerful?
She's the leech. She's the leech of the X-Men.
No, she doesn't dispel their powers. They just don't work on her.
Yeah, that's
it's
not,
like
there
she
is
doesn't
no
shut
X-Men
their powers
like that.
down. They just don't seem to work on her. So
there is no X-Men like that because that's nothing.
That's nothing. I am the resistor. But yeah, so I didn't quite get that. But anyway,
no,
I'm sure, and
it's
I saw you,
weird,
Olivia.
but
You wanted to tell me a spoiler, possibly from later in the series.
It's yeah. Well, it's not. No, I just have to actually really quick.
Okay,
it's not all.
I love it.
It's not all powers because as we discover in one of the high school scenes, Jasper actually can use his powers on her. He has the ability to manipulate emotion, which is why she accepts like the birthday gift and allows for them to hold a birthday party for her.
I didn't get that at all.
You wouldn't because it doesn't explain it at all.
No, because actually,
I had no idea.
Drops it in there willy-nilly.
One of my big notes
from
the last movie, continuing into this one, is I am unclear about what some of the Cullens' powers are. Because, like,
Alice is the only one we know.
Alice can see the future. Edward can read thoughts.
Right. Okay.
Carlisle is, like, immune to hunger, basically. Like, that's why he's able to be a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, because we do get
it
him
won't explain it.
after they corral Jasper. They're like all holding him back. The whole family is like, Jesus Christ, he's gonna kill her. But then we do have Carlisle stitching her up and being like, sorry about that.
Here's the thing. For those of you who didn't
during
see
one of the most chemistry-laden scenes of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is kind of hot.
Well, because once again, it's all
he's like holding his arm as he's like. I was like, "What's happening?"
It's it has to do with the fact that all the adults are played by charismatic actors. Like it's
there's
all
that.
like him and Elizabeth Reese are
kind of okay. Again, there's kind of. This is me reading into it, but I think Stephanie Meyer's fantasies, of course, are all here. You just have to you dig just not even very far into the surface to find out what is hot to her. And I honestly think she sees the Jacob and Edward situation as, at least emotional three-way. And it does feel like the Cullens, even though they're all kind of paired up and I'm sure they all get married, there's a big vampire orgy thing that it just running on it.
There's a sexy vibe to the whole family.
Each other, and I think the second that Bella becomes a vampire, I'm sure they're like going like, let's take a family vacation. And I bet it is just a key party. That's the second time this week.
Well, yeah, because she once again is like, you got to make me a vampire. And okay.
The whole movie, she just keeps saying what we know is going to eventually happen.
That's the thing that's insane to me. Knowing
be a
that
vampire.
is insane to me because every scene about her becoming a vampire feels like the only way this can go is for her not to be a vampire, because it's always about like, no, you don't want that, and then for it to just be like, yeah, she does though, and it's fine.
Yeah, but no, there's the nonsense about a soul that keeps being hinted at, and again, we don't know what the rules are here.
Well,
if it were the Joss Whedon universe, we would understand.
Yes,
because he made it very clear that vampires are not the humans, that they are demon souls that inhabit once they become a vampire. So that would make sense to where someone would say, I want to protect you from that because your soul is pure. But here, it's like, no, you just keep going.
Yeah, the implication is that Edward feels this way because he is a good, moral Christian man.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I mean, because look at, I said that about the first movie. Once again, it doesn't seem that bad to be
Bella
one of these vampires.
Like, do you actually think that you're going to hell because of what you do? You can't, because you're so good and nice.
Even though they make a point about, well, he used to kill people, because he doesn't say it in this one, but as we learned last one, he does have the skin of a killer.
He does.
Yeah.
What I love about this movie is finally we now know what the fur of a killer looks like.
But once again, they go out of their
has
way.
The fur of a killer.
They go out of their way later to be like, no, we don't kill people. Okay,
What's hilarious is we keep hearing about like hikers and so forth, like being found ripped apart, and it's this hanging open mystery. And the vampire clan has said, no, we don't do that. We're the Cullens. We're cool. And then when we finally get werewolves, the werewolves are like going, oh, we don't kill people. We only kill vampires.
Who's killing people?
I'm like, okay, then who's out there eating all those hikers? Is it just Victoria?
Yeah.
It's Victoria
and Laurent.
Oh,
yeah, I was
that's
going to
right.
say.
There are two rogue vampires.
Oh, yeah, by the way, guy with dreadlocks, pick a side, man. Because like in the last movie,
side.
He was evil,
nice
then he joined them. Now he's just evil again.
Yeah, he's just evil again.
This guy's got to pick.
But he's gone. He got
that plays into vampires' love hierarchy. If there is a power vacuum, they will just all fall under the most powerful one they can find. And
apparently, Edward's out of town, huh?
Well, that's basically what he says. Because okay, so after that thing, we got to stay on this really crackerjack plot.
Yeah.
The thing about it is the after this all happens, Bella wants that, and then Edward's just like, and I'm so sick of this in these movies, where it's just like, it's not safe for you. We're leaving town. You're not coming with us. There were like 3 times this happened in the first movie. Now here it is again. He just keeps going, no, I shouldn't be with you.
Well, but also this time,
it's
John,
dangerous.
don't forget, this time he also does like the old yeller.
Yeah.
This time it's literally like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
It's better for you. I don't want to be with you.
It's better for you this way.
He starts throwing rocks at her, and she starts whimpering and looking over her shoulder.
But he does kind of hit her with.
Go away.
Yeah, it's a real Harry and the Hendersons ending.
I never liked you. I like that idea.
We're wrong in the woods.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah. Get out of here. No, yeah, and it's all. But he also is basically hitting her with a. It's not you. It's me. Look, I'm a bad influence. This won't end well. Okay.
Yeah.
You either have.
You're everything to me. You're my entire universe. I've never felt as happy as when I'm with you. Get out of my life.
Yeah. And then she collapses?
God, that's romantic.
She's so devastated she collapses in the woods? Is that what happens here? Because then we get a shirtless guy bringing her home.
Yep.
And no one's weirded out. Because immediately we have her father like, all right, everybody, we're going to search these grids, okay? Because she's gone. And there she is.
I mean, literally, I guess.
Yeah, being carried by a half-naked man out of the woods.
She must
not
have
weirded
been
out by that.
Out there for a day or something to warrant a search party.
Yeah.
But then it is something like, oh, thanks, Sam. Just like, I got her.
By the way, the guy who plays Sam, a very good actor. Because
what have we seen him in?
We saw him on Echo.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah. And he's also in The English, which is a Amazon Western show with him and Emily Blunt that was very good. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It's good. But anyway, yeah, has nothing to do in this. You would never know how could I?
Well, he is the leader of the wolves.
Yeah. We get that. Yeah, sure. And then we get one of the other guys is Jim Chi from Dark Winds. So, yeah, which is one of my favorite shows. So, I like that I keep seeing all these, I'm recognizing people in this going, oh, I know you from better stuff.
Well, again,
because they hired talented people.
They hired talented people and gave them junk material.
We talked about this last time, but Olivia, did you know that Stephenie Meyer, her big choice for Edward was Henry Cavill?
Yes.
Which is just, I don't see it.
Thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah. But I just, talk about, the studio was like, he looks way too old. Was their big pushback on that. And I go, but I go like,
yes, he wouldn't look like he was in high school.
And he's
but
huge.
At that time, he would have been much thinner. Like when I saw him in that Midsummer Murders episode where he's supposed to be like 17 or 18.
Yeah.
He kind of looked like he was at least 20. But was so much skinnier. I'm like, so that's what you look like when you're not trying to be Superman. Oh. Yeah. Still a handsome dude.
Still a handsome dude.
Turns out he's a handsome guy.
Just a weird choice. Doesn't have a Pattinson
floppy
vibe.
Hair.
Yeah.
Floppy British hair too.
Also has kind of, I mean, I know he can play other stuff, but has kind of golden retriever energy that doesn't really go with Edward's thing.
Snyder
was determined to have Superman brood.
I will say though, it's interesting though that but I think to your point,
but not very good effect.
There's a reason that he was Superman and Pattinson's Batman, right? Like it does make sense. So yes, then we get, oh my God, this was clearly like Chris Weitz' big storyboarding moment was like, we're gonna do this time lapse 360 shot because I know this is him trying to visually do something from the books. Is that what you're about to say, Olivia? I do know that.
That is exactly what I was going to bring up, which is that...
Is it done like that in the book?
The books have the month labels, so it says October, and then there are blank pages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that goes on for, I think it's until January.
Also in the books, is she constantly writing emails to Alice that Alice isn't reading?
I thought that was.
Remember if that was
their bond is very interesting because I mean it's just sketched in 2 movies. Obviously they like each other, they're close.
Yeah.
But Alice is the one she's writing to.
Well, Edward's way too brooding and cool to have an email.
Her.
Well, also, I don't.
So.
Edward does not seem like a guy who has an email. You know what I mean? Like he feels.
True.
He doesn't know how the email works. Honestly,
yeah. Edward's a guy who now in 2024 is like, I don't have a phone.
Yeah.
Okay. He's just
he
cool.
still listens to vinyl.
Yeah. And he listens to vinyl.
No, he did have a CD player. That's true.
But he only listens to very old classical music. Which once again brings up, how old are you?
Debussy.
All of the music he listens to predates him. He is like, even of his time, he is like,
no,
I only listen to oldies.
Edward. Yeah, exactly. Edward was lame as a human too, right?
Edward is glistening to the oldies.
Yeah,
because he has the skin of a cat.
So yes, and she's having the night terrors, which is keeping Billy Burke up all night. Oh, and finally he's like, "You gotta go."
Daughter who got dumped by her first boyfriend.
Yeah.
Obviously I'd be concerned. I would be ultra concerned if a half a year passes and every night she shrieks and during the day she just stares out a window. Get her help.
Going to a doctor of any kind is not an option in these books. Apparently.
What?
No.
That's not even a Mormon thing. That just must be a Stephenie Meyer thing.
That's the thing I was thinking about this. And yes, the ever defense, as Olivia has brought this up several times, is it is written for a very specific kind of teenage girl. But the one thing is, teenagers do feel so hard and the world is crumbling around them, but they also bounce back very quick. And so it does feel like she would have probably, gotten over this after a few months. Maybe once again, I understand it's written for a very specific kind of girl, but it does feel like... But that's in Meyer's construction of this, right? This is grand.
I guess that could be seen as a very... This is trying to be Shakespearean.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's trying to be epic.
Yeah.
But still, I'm sitting there going, an 18-year-old girl
Yeah.
should not have met a century-old vampire guy.
Yeah, just
and
1 century.
Immediately decided, this is the course my life will take.
And the thing
I'm worried about any 18-year-old who gets engaged and married. It's like, you have no idea about life, and you don't just immediately go
who you are as a person.
Or who you are.
But here's the thing. I do buy Bella having that. What I don't buy is the 109-year-old vampire feeling that. Shouldn't he have some kind of wisdom?
That on the reverse.
Interesting.
Are you kidding? It's the old man going like, "Oh, a young woman will give me life."
But it's interesting
kind
that
of thing. And in this case, literally.
I actually applauded and was like, yes. When later in the movie, Carlisle is like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, man. Either you're gonna be with her forever and she has to be a vampire, or you gotta let her go and she can be human. He's like, I want to be with her, but she can't be a supernatural creature. And I was so thrilled when Carlisle's like, that doesn't work, man.
Very rarely do we get these things where someone in the script will actually say what the audience is thinking, which is weird, because I guess Stephenie Meyer was aware people will want to hear someone go, hey, step back from this. This is nuts.
Yeah. And I'm very concerned about stuff that is set up in this movie for the third movie that I'm pretty worried about. Some toxic shit that's coming in. But
I am very concerned.
Yeah, but yes, months of this, and Billy Burke's had enough. He's like, you're going, much like Will Smith, you're going to live with your mommy in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I can't. Once again, what does she have here? Why is she fighting this?
Well, again,
she hates her friends. This
is the thing where I sit there going like, months have passed, and granted, maybe those high school friends have called, maybe they've shown up, maybe at school, because we do know she starts sitting over at the Cullen table all alone.
That is the saddest image where it's like, you do have friends.
Sits with her friends.
And that's why I'm saying, like, why would anyone want to hang out with her then?
He acts like they are accessories to her life and not actual friends, which is really sucky on Bella's part, because it's like they don't matter. Her father doesn't matter. She is literally ready to fly off. She's like, I'm 18, I can go wherever I want. To fly off to Italy, do whatever. It's like, I'll leave him a note.
Yeah.
Fuck him. I've got to go be my immortal
But he says,
boyfriend.
You got to move to Jacksonville. And she's like, no, my life is here.
And he goes, you're not living. You're not doing anything. I'm going to go shopping with my friend Anna Kendrick. I'll show you. I'll go shopping.
Oh, and then begins... There's a lot I don't like in this movie, but the thing I hate the most, which is Bella Swan, adrenaline junkie.
This is so weird.
Because
it's weird. It's weird in the books too.
She gets the idea that she has basically shut down. That's the whole thing. So she's taking a step out and using Anna Kendrick, who's like, I'm getting nothing out of this because you're not interested in anything I'm saying, and da-da-da. But basically, she sees the bikers down the way. She flashes back to one of the funniest bits from the first movie. I was like going, Forks, Washington has like outlaw biker gang in it. This town has 50 inhabitants.
Yeah. Once again, it's back to Billy Burke being a bad cop. He hasn't rounded up this gang of these Sons of Anarchy wannabes.
So she thinks that they're probably of the same make. So she's like, you know what? Maybe I'll go down there and talk to them. And as she goes, Ghost Edward shows up, and I start laughing. And he goes, "Don't go down there; it's dangerous."
That's all he does.
And then she keeps going because she's like, "Screw you, Ghost Edward." And then he's like, I'm totally serious. "Screw you, Ghost Edward." And she gets on the back of one rando's bike.
Yeah. And he's like, "Sure, you look like Kristen Stewart.
Now, he isn't a potential rapist as far as we know, not like the guys from before, but he is hey, I don't know who you are, but you're hot. Get on my bike." And he starts speeding.
And Anna Kendrick is concerned, but not concerned enough.
Not concerned enough. No. She literally just stands there. And what we do understand is she waits the whole time.
That really made me laugh.
This girl, think about it from Anna Kendrick's point of view. This girl has got broken up with, and ignored you for 6 months, and then invites you shopping randomly.
Yeah, and then they go see a zombie movie.
And they see a movie that you don't want to see, and she makes you go to, and then you leave, and she wanders off to some bikers. Me too.
By the
I'm
way,
like, I'm not getting killed for this girl.
that is the first of 2 awkward movie dates in this movie, which I love. That we get.
Oh yeah.
And by the way,
The very much like,
I think I said this on the last episode. I watched those career retrospective things they do on YouTube with actors and stuff talking about. And Anna Kendrick talked about how much of her roles in these movies were improvised, and I really felt that with all the business about the zombie movie they come out of. I'm like, there is no way any of this was written in the script. And do you know why? Because it was actually kind of funny and charming. And it couldn't have been in the script.
There was some stuff there.
She made some good points.
Yeah.
About capitalism.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. It's like, oh, I get it. Oh, we get.
And apparently, because she said that kind of became her role in these, was just like, I don't know, Anna, say some funny stuff.
Yeah. Anna, do something to inject some life into your scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Bella is on the back of the bike. The guy's speeding up. He's going too fast.
It looks
and
great, special effects wise. It looks really realistic.
Really good.
Yeah.
And they keep zooming by multiple Ghost Edwards going, hey, you, no, stop. This is...
Boy, Ghost Edward's
careful.
even more of a bummer than Living Edward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do have to say one other thing before she actually got on the bike that I was thinking about is the addition of the Ghost Edward does do something, which it makes her presumably look like a crazy person from other characters.
She does talk
the
to
fact
him.
that this guy let her get on his bike is a bad decision on his part, because she's like looking around the alley, she's talking to someone else, and he's like, she's hot enough.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry to give you a window into male psychology. Rando hot woman walks up and says,
"That's not
get
good.
No,
ride on your bike."
It's
You're
really
like,
bad.
okay,
you guys, you need to work on that as a gender.
We've been talking about it at the meetings.
You're clearly having a psychotic break.
Yeah.
Because you're hot.
Yeah, we've been trying to deal with this over the years. But
then she goes, "Stop."
Yeah,
and the biker's like, "You're crazy, whatever," and she's off his bike.
Yeah,
and then Anna Kendrick has very conveniently just waited.
Well, because they were
standing in the same place.
They were speeding along, so they must have gone several miles, and then Kristen Stewart walked back. So Anna Kendrick, waited like a half hour or more? Just going like, I hope she comes back and doesn't get murdered.
She's alive.
Yeah.
She's trying to be a good friend to this.
And once again,
that is nice.
Once again, her only attitude is just like, what was that all about?
An asshole. That's our takeaway.
She kind of is in this one.
I do have to say, like, I think one of the things that is so sinister about this movie is that some of the stuff that she does and goes through is very regular teenager. I mean, getting dumped and spiraling into a depression is a thing that happens, and thinking it's the end of the world, taking risky behaviors. But it's the moral of the movie is, and it was all worth it, and you should be like that because it's true love, and it's not good.
It's classic.
That's bad messaging.
It's classic bad writing.
It all worked out
in that Stephanie Meyer doesn't know what she's writing. Like she's not really digging into that next level and going, wait, am I saying that? Because if you said that to her, she'd be like, no.
You misread it.
Yeah, that can't be in there because that wasn't my intention. She's not. She's going, I have an intention, and I'm just going to keep writing. She's never then let me look at this objectively. Ooh, that's saying something I don't want to say. No, it's all fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to write this down because it is my fucking favorite shitty, angst-ridden Kristen Stewart line. Yeah. I don't like music anymore.
Yeah.
That just makes me sad. That's classic clinical depression.
Good Lord,
She at that point she has decided to kind of break out of the fog and hook up with Jacob again. And again she's kind of using him at the beginning before she kind of falls for him because she's only
also by the way also not great.
With him.
Great messaging is her depression starts to break because she just met another hot guy.
But also she's using him
Yeah.
to build a bike. That's the thing, is she's now on this danger junkie kick, because if she puts herself in danger, she will see and hear Ghost Edward, which I just again,
I know, every
it's
time.
the funniest nonsense.
But that leads to Jacob does help her, but it does then lead to the two guys in the movie now are both in every scene going, "Are you sure about this? This seems dangerous." Like,
Yeah.
it is just it's just such a weird
but
look.
if nothing else, hanging out with him,
Yeah.
with the goal of building a bike so she can be a daredevil, is it's fun. And even if she doesn't like music anymore, they laugh and have a good time, and they meet up every single day.
Yeah.
No mixed messages there for Jacob, and he's instantly, I mean, they've known each other since they were kids, but he's falling for hardcore. She knows it, and she starts kind of falling for him, but it's one of those, oof. Yeah, it is a thing where she knows it's always going to be Edward, but this guy's here.
Yeah.
And he never wears a shirt. And
Well, not yet. He's still in wig and shirt at this point.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, he takes it off. I mean, she sees those.
The first time he takes it off is when she crashes on the bike, and he just whips it off.
Yes, yes, that's right. He pulls it off.
Insane.
Classic high schooler behavior.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, come
yeah.
on.
And every guy watching this in the theater with their girlfriend was like, oh, Jesus. And every woman in the theater was like,
And
Oscar.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
that boy has a future.
I will say, though, I do kind of feel bad for Pattinson later when he has to take his shirt off and he's like, I'm a pasty, skinny little Brit dude.
He's skinny, but I mean, he's still fit.
Well, sure.
But he's a taut little dude.
But he's not Batman yet, you know.
But no, he's not Batman yet. And Batman has a lot to do with that armored suit. But anyway...
don't be one of those nerds who's like, you're too skinny.
Oh, I do have to say too, his at the beginning of their friendship, his nagging game is on point. He nags her hard, and it works real well.
Well, Jacob,
also not great messaging.
You can find Jacob's YouTube channel about pickup artistry now. At the real Jacob Black.
Of him basically constantly getting in jabs, which is also kind of indicative of relationships where you start as friends and it grows, because since they've known each other since they were kids, it's much more natural than the instant sexual attraction of like the Edward Bella thing, where it's all like instantly.
Well, I think that's why I'm
like, you're a dweeb. I love you.
Yeah,
you're such a nerd. I love you.
I think that's why it becomes
definitely meant to be that sort of like, we're buds, we're best friends, so we can talk about each other like this. But he does say some like kind of mean things that he knows she's like not comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, and then
but it does work.
And then he's driving her home or what. I love that she has a truck, but everyone drives her. Great look. But they're driving by
a couple of times.
She drives a couple times, but a lot of the time, if there's a guy with her, he is doing the driving, even though it's her truck.
Yeah,
which is just weird.
Because she has to be a cool mechanic girl, but she's also still a girl.
Yeah,
she's still a girl.
Let it be known, she is still a girl. Okay.
Hard to tell with all those flannels.
They're driving down the road by the ocean, and they look over and they see some of his buddies from the reservation. They're all shirtless.
And they have their shirt off.
But they're all shirtless, and the thing about the magic shorts, something we talk about a lot, Brendan, is people changing into werewolves, keeping their clothes. But they all have the same shorts.
They all have black knee-length, kind of not quite cargo shorts.
Yeah, but she looks over and she's like, "What are those guys doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, they're crazy. They do the cliff jumping."
And she's like, "Wait, that's your nerdy friend? Why is he with them?" He's like, "I don't know, Sam. Sam brought him in, and it's like I lost a friend." And Sam keeps trying to get me into the group. I think he wants me to join him. It's weird.
I love
the idea. They're going.
The idea of werewolf pack as street gang is kind of fun.
Yeah, peer pressure, like join.
We're all doing it, man. We're all turning into wolves. You don't want to be a nerd.
And they all get the same tattoo on their bicep.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not a bicep. What is that thing up there? That thing up there. But anyway,
talking about
I thought
that's the tricep. Oh, here, that's bicep.
That's bicep, but this thing here.
Yeah.
On the top.
We'll figure it out. That's your tricep.
Is that the tricep?
I mean, it's like in the back, but the tattoo is like in the space kind of between them.
My God, I'm so embarrassed.
Leg bone's connected to the knee bone. Okay.
I had How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way when I was a kid. We were talked about that, and it would tell me all those muscle groups. Yeah. Anyway, regardless, they all have the same.
Yeah, and he does say, they go cliff diving
together.
And Jacob does say to her, "It's a total rush," and she's like, "That's my thing now."
Yeah, that's the only way I will see Ghost Edward. So maybe I will cliff dive at some point in this film.
A lot of my notes from this point are like, Ghost Edward says don't ride motorcycle. She does.
So she rides motorcycle.
Yep.
Ghost Edward says, please take care of yourself.
Yeah.
She does not.
Yeah. And then once again, we just got to check back in with Billy Burke, and is like, yeah, more people getting ripped apart. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, be careful. I'll go.
I mean, literally
fishing.
By the way, do we ever see any other cop? Maybe he's not a bad cop. Maybe it's just that he's one guy.
I think he is cop.
Because when he goes out looking for the animals, he just brings his buddies. He doesn't bring other uniformed officers. It's just like, hey, Gil Birmingham, you want to get a rifle and go check things out?
That is such a conception of a small town thing of like, it's a tiny town, so there's one guy. It's like
there's one guy. It's basically Mayberry.
Rounds up a posse of just randos.
Even Andy Griffith had Barney.
That's true.
Even in Mayberry, he had a second guy. Now, how useful that guy was is up for debate, but still, there was at least another guy.
I'm not going to hear you,
besmirch the law enforcement abilities of Barney Fife. Cinema's greatest
fine,
cop.
Upstanding lawman. But this is that kind of thing where we're asked to accept that these murders, horrible people getting torn open, is kind of mildly dealt with, other than people going, might be a bear, so watch out in the woods.
And that's a big problem
with the thing where
with the script.
You bring in outside help.
Yeah, where's the BAU coming in on this?
Or at least tell people, hey, you're not allowed to go into the woods until we solve this bear problem.
Where's the Jaws scene where it's like, we got to close hunting season for the year?
Oh, no, it's like, no, that's our big money maker.
Yeah, you could have the evil mayor at that point then, yeah. And it's the same mayor. He moved to Forks. It was weird.
Look, when I was in Amity in the 70s, they wanted to shut the beach down.
I love that in Jaws 2, that man has still not learned his lesson and is still going, it was a shark last time. This time, though, I'm sure it's fine. But
what is the likelihood that it's two sharks?
Yeah.
It couldn't
happen again.
Well, the fact that there are 4 of those movies really is like, yikes.
Well, by the 4th time, it was personal. Anyway, let's move on.
Well, yeah, at that certain point, they as a family are being targeted by sharks. But,
that's right.
Yeah. So let's get to a very awkward. In my notes, for ease sake, I called it a triple date, but that's not what it is. It is 2 guys taking Bella on a movie date, including, by the way, didn't Mike get with Anna Kendrick in the last movie? I guess
so. They do mention in the movie that he broke up with her.
Oh, big mistake, Mike.
That.
Huge mistake on that one.
Yeah, it's a huge mistake.
It makes sense that you missed it. It was a total throwaway line.
Did not catch that.
But basically, the fact that Bella starts joining them back at the table, and it's like, oh, are you out of your funk? Because we didn't care, but now, so you're okay now?
You're very long funk.
You were such a bummer.
Yeah, for like a long time.
So, and hey, you want to go on a date with me? Here's the sad thing. This happened to me in junior high.
Oh, well,
this exact thing
I think we said this on the last one. We're total Mikes.
Yeah.
That's exactly who we are in the story.
Asked out a girl I liked to a movie, and apparently she was not aware it was supposed to be a date. She invited another guy, and it turned out that it was only the 3 of us in that theater because no one wanted to see The Sting 2 with Jackie Gleason and Matt
You mean the far superior sequel? We all know the better of the 2.
And so tried to flirt, but I mean, he's there, and it was awkward. I didn't end up
Yeesh.
throwing up.
Yeesh. Well,
But
that's
anyway, so
something.
that's the whole deal. Is that it's supposed to be a date? Mike wants it to be, but apparently Bella's like, "Oh, why don't you
God.
guys all come with us?" And they're like, "Fine." And then by the time of the movie, everyone's bailed. It's just the three of them because she invited Jacob.
Yeah, and so she's literally sitting there in between the two of them, and
Yes.
and they're both holding out their hands.
They both have the hands out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the weirdest.
I do like that Mike throughout these movies he wants to be in the romantic triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, let me in there.
Hey, is there room for a third,
It's like,
fourth in your triangle?
Do I like Jacob or do I like Edward? And it's just like, or Mike.
Mike.
Mike's out here too. I know I'm ill-defined, but
so this was uncomfortable for me.
It was.
It felt very
and
much like
he is kind of like you were being shitty. He does storm off here, which I appreciate. Show some self-respect, Mike.
Well, also he has to react to. I'm glad there was an explanation for it. They at least covered this ground because really Bella and Jacob are like, oh, this is kind of turning into a thing. And when Mike comes out of the bathroom after having thrown up, Jacob's like in his face, like angry at him. And I'm like, oh, even teenaging doesn't explain this. And then it turns out, oh, he's experiencing wolf
because she puts her hand on him. She's like, you're burning up.
You're burning up.
Yeah.
And she says, wow, you're really hot. And Mike's face just falls.
I'm gonna fucking
like,
go.
Really hot. You know, you'd probably feel better without that shirt.
Mike, call back Anna Kendrick. Make it work is what I'm saying.
Just, yeah.
Mike, I'm sorry, you're not the main character.
Yeah.
You're going to have to end up with a side character. Two side characters together could be happy.
But the side character is Anna Kendrick. Like, we're supposed to pretend
I
that
know,
Anna
I
Kendrick
know.
is not equally as attractive as Kristen Stewart.
That's the thing.
No.
That's the
She's the ugly friend. Or even they put poor, who has really not, if Anna Kendrick has nothing to do, really has nothing to do is Christian Serranos, who they pull her hair back and put her in glasses, so she really couldn't possibly be gorgeous. My God.
The other two friends
disgusting.
are even less.
Oh yeah, because then there's also the Asian
the
guy,
metrosexual Asian
who I'm sad to call that,
you're like,
but that's all he is.
That's all he is. He gets no other, and she is just photographer girl.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I'm photographer girl.
And she has
you're
glasses,
like,
so she's
wow.
not hot.
And this is where Olivia goes, actually, there are long chapters of backstory about all of them.
No, there's
Really, you don't
Even
get to
the
know them
book
very
doesn't
well?
give a shit.
There are, in fact, more totally 2D characters that they were like, hey, this is too many paper cutout people.
Yeah.
Let's combine some of these into
Oh, really?
That makes
characters.
sense.
So instead of just the four friends that were originally
That makes
8.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. I mean,
oh.
actually, good call. Like I said, Melissa Rosenberg is a good screenwriter, and I think is doing anything. It sounds like is even trying to bring anything to these books.
Also, famously, Stephanie Meyer was basically telling them,
that's
just like
Rowling,
E.L. James did
and
later.
Rowling had that on the Harry Potter movies.
Do
E.L.
not change my precious words.
Well, and then we got to the place where eventually now a lot of them are just writing them themselves. Like Gillian Flynn wrote Gone Girl. Now, that worked out because Gillian Flynn is actually a very good writer.
Sometimes the novelist can turn out an excellent screenplay.
In the case, and
Sometimes
actually, I mean, regardless of, I'm not going to get into J.K. Rowling stuff. J.K. Rowling is also a good writer, and I will leave it at that. I do think
I will accept that
as a writer, and I will say nothing else.
I
on the
greatly enjoyed her books.
So I'm saying that once again,
problematic
but
stuff,
what's interesting is when they gave the power she had on those Harry Potter movies to two women who are not good writers, and so are insisting on this needs to be worse. I mean, the stories from the first 50 Shades of Grey sound insane, where it's like moment to moment she's yelling at the director about individual takes on set, and it's just like, are you kidding me?
She needs to stress butt plug. She really needs to stress that.
Yeah.
Which is so it's especially funny in E.L. James's case because that is a work of fan fiction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
the weird
terrible
thing
Twilight
about the
fan fiction,
connection between these two makes it
where
even
Bella
stranger.
gets spanked a lot. Basically, is what it is.
Well, I just assumed that was all happening off screen anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah.
No, there's no sex happening off screen in these movies.
That's right. There's nothing.
I know.
Absolutely not.
The tortured everything.
Yeah.
This again, and I'm not saying it takes a sexual relationship to build up the emotion to this extent, but I'm sitting there going like, what is she really getting out of it? Days of lingering stares and sleeping while someone watches you is the whole thing.
You don't even
Hand
really
holding,
I'm trying to
and
think.
some very hungry kisses. I would say every time they kiss, it's the
But
only time that
I'm thinking
Pattinson
about
seems to be like, I'm here.
They don't
because
even,
they go for it with
they don't even kiss that much though. Like you think about it, there's only a handful.
But the 2 or 3 times they do, it's like, oh,
well, it is one of those hilarious things where
they're having mouth sex.
It's the we can't actually have sex, and so yep. All of the desire is forced into the mouth.
It's also one of those classic movie things where the leads are actually in a relationship at this point and still don't have chemistry. Like that doesn't translate. It's always fascinating
because of the characters, and I hope they were having more fun off screen. And I'm not being creepy.
They could only be having more fun.
The making of this more than they did on screen because. Again, it's just moroseness.
Did you see? There's a great thing. I'm looking through the IMDb trivia. There's a great thing where Pattinson said in 2019 he recently rewatched this film on television and remembered the good memories he had on set, and also thought, and I will agree with him on this, the soundtrack is really good.
The soundtrack is really good.
That's across the board in these movies
that I like, and I'm like, whoa, man, I
do remember that because my sister had all the soundtracks to these movies because she was so obsessed, and I would just be like, "These are all the bands. What are you talking? Like Death Cab for Cutie did an original
track.
They have another Muse song in this.
In the first one.
Death Cab for Cutie did an original single for this.
Oh boy!
I imagine you guys maybe talked about this last movie, but Stephenie Meyer was very, very devoted to MCR and really, really wanted them to write the soundtracks for all of these movies, and they said. No.
Yeah, fair.
That makes me respect them even more.
And the song Vampire Money is about them being offered.
Oh, that's hilarious.
To write this, yeah.
Well, because, by the way, terrible choice of band if you're going to go for a guy who really does care about genre fiction. Who spends a lot of his time writing comics and stuff, too.
Yeah.
So it's like a guy who's going to be like, yeah, I really don't want my music associated with, like, a shitty version of a thing I really care about.
I respect it. Also, talk about that money that must have just dropped.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine.
No.
But also would have been so on that, like, it's already such a hot topic movie if you're literally putting My Chemical Romance in it.
So on the nose, and also just a horrible, like,
it's
so
a weird
jarring for some of these like brooding scenes. Like
that's why is that My Chemical Romance is kind of is hot topicy, but at the same time, they are not really slow. They have this theatricality to them that it wouldn't fit this at all because this isn't. This is the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, Muse is about as hard as we're gonna go, right? Like Muse works. Because there's sort of an operatic quality to it, but there's a melancholy. Certainly, I mean, literally getting a Seattle band in Death Cab for Cutie makes sense. I think the next movie, it's Metric that does the title track. You're
right,
yeah, like that's. And then these are all bands I was listening to at the time. Like I legitimately love the Death Cab song that's in this. But
it's fine to like the soundtrack, John.
No, that's the thing. But I just love that. That's Pattinson going. I rewatched those. What'd you think? Well, the soundtrack was great. Yeah. So anyway,
and that's again a kind of like backwards. It's very political. That's a very politic answer.
So
like, you know what? I will be discreet.
So now Jacob's not calling her back either because he's all scared because he's a wolf now.
Yeah, and we off screen he's getting initiated. If you know what I mean. Because
next we see him, he's got his shirt off, he's got the tattoo. I love that she's specific.
And they
cut your
got
hair
the wig off of him. Yeah.
And she's like, I love that she's like, what happened? And I'm like, he looks way better.
This is meant is gross. It's, I think, also meant to be a sort of like coming of age ritual, and like it's supposed to be like a deep native wisdom thing, and it's like,
He's done his vision quest, which involved cutting his hair.
Yeah,
and,
to give him the perfect little spiky coiffed 20-aughts or 2010 20-aughts hairstyle.
Oh, because it's not just like it's chopped off and buzzed. It's still so perfectly maintained. Every spike, you just know
Except
they were.
In the rain, it does matte down. It
does. But like, I like that you can just feel them going, hold on, we got to touch up. Yeah, everything was precisely discussed. Everything about the look of all these characters, you know there were huge meetings about.
By the way, when we see the werewolves eventually, and this is something that has always bugged me, and John's heard me talk about it. If you turn into a werewolf, I think that the color of the fur should just be the same as your hair color.
Well, the thing that really
it throws me that they're all different colors.
That's
and
the thing
Jacob's,
that's interesting.
Like got this like reddish fur and golden eyes, but all these guys, being Native American, have jet black hair. It should have just been a pack of black wolves. And I'm like,
that's the thing that was weird about it. Was normally when we say that, it's about there's a uniformity of the wolves. Here they do make them all look different, but there's no rhyme or reason to why.
It's kind of supposed to match their personalities.
I figured it had to be something like that, right?
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's like
some spiritual bullshit that she didn't think out.
Of them, so he gets to have golden hair.
Well, and we get to see him in his big hero moments because what's the name of Dreadlock's vampire?
Laurent.
Yeah,
Laurent.
Boy, I feel so bad for this actor who's very good, and thankfully now is going to be Mr. Terrific over at DC because he is horribly wasted in both of these movies.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
He's doing a fine acting job. But
because he's, once again, a very good actor.
Right. This is where he tries to get the truth about where the Cullens are out of Bella, while Ghost Edward keeps going like, lie to him.
Yeah.
You gotta lie better.
Yeah.
Okay, now you gotta threaten him. And all this stuff. And she's doing her best, but he's like going, I don't buy it. And I'm going to kill you because Victoria wants you dead. And she's kind of the powerful lady around here now. And she's like, what? He's like, all right, I'll take care of you. I'm going to kill you.
All the Victoria stuff in this movie is so off screen. And yet the end of the first movie is all about she's still out there.
Oh, man, when she becomes a U-boat vampire, fucking love it. Where she surfaces and then goes back down. Come on. But the werewolves start chasing off Laurent, and they are... I also don't like this. It was the same problem I have with the Hulk, where I guess because CG can do anything now, they have to take these fantastic creatures and turn them into giants.
Yeah, they are huge.
It's like werewolves should probably be the size of a man because it's a man who turns into a wolf.
You kind of have one of two roads, right? You can either bring them smaller so they're wolf size, or it can be a man with a wolf.
Or man-sized wolves, or you can also do the thing where there's between wolf and man, but they still shouldn't be giants because where's all that mass coming
them
from?
getting bigger is strange.
Sorry, Olivia, you have to hear me rant about it, but these are 12-foot tall wolves that just bound out like dinosaurs and chase after Laurent, and Bella's like, oh wow, they're werewolves.
Yeah. It's not
he
exciting.
He does handle weird well, as we find out. Like, you apparently are okay with weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's dating a 109-year-old dude.
Well, and then once again, he's got to... Then when she goes back home, fucking shirtless Jacob is going to Spider-Man into that room. These dudes just come into her room uninvited nonstop, both of them.
She has no way to stop him, apparently.
Nope.
Because, they just jump into her room.
But he does a little, like, whoop, flips his legs around the tree, and then whoop, into the room. And yes, this is where I'm going, must he be shirtless? It really does further add to the creep factor.
I have no problem with it. Anyway, but the whole thing is that this whole thing sets up the really irritating, you know what I am, I know what I am, I can't say it because there are rules. So I'm going to kind of hint at it.
I thought
Remember what I told you about the legends of our people, about the vampires? Yeah, there was another part.
She says no. She basically says no.
I really have been tuning you out, man.
wait, about the cold ones? And he's like, God damn it, you only focused on the vampires, didn't
damn
you?
it, yeah.
Whatever.
The rest was white noise. But you know what? I was going like, don't do it, movie. They're going to do the same scene again where he's like, say it. And she'll be like, werewolf. They don't do it, but I was waiting for it because they set it up again. Yeah.
It's kind of like
it comes close to literally just being that again.
But she does get a good toss away later where it's like, Jacob's a werewolf. I was like, oh, great. Really like that.
Yeah. And then, okay, then you get this weird stuff that's all implied, which is the hunting party that her father sets up with the Native American friends that he has who, no? Because, like, they keep cutting to these Graham Greene reactions where he's like, oh, yeah, don't go over there.
Yeah.
The implication is that they are participating in this so that he doesn't shoot a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah. They know because it is their tribe. It's a tribal secret, so they watch out for each other. They also know there's nothing to fear because they aren't tearing people apart. So that's why even if Graham Greene himself didn't get the gene, we never find out if he's one of the werewolves, whatever. He covers the tracks, that whole thing. But then he has a heart attack.
He has a heart attack because Victoria shows up and lifts him up into the air.
Yep. And she's doing lots of spider monkeying through the trees and running really fast. And werewolves are on her trail, or a werewolf is on her trail. I liked the scene. I thought it was choreographed well.
It's all right. And I'm like, it's all right. Can I also say
he
how
has
much
nothing to do in this thing?
I did roll my eyes when Jacob said to Bella, "Hey, I was born this way."
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, she's like, can't you choose not to turn into a werewolf? He's like, no.
I do love that she is like so dedicated to Edward being a good person, and then she's like, oh, you're a wolf guy who doesn't kill anybody? Fuck you.
Well, first she
you're
goes,
disgusting.
That's gross.
Oh, but you're fine with a bloodsucker boyfriend. She goes, well, they don't kill humans, and your people do. And he goes, oh, racist. Like, no, we don't.
That is an offensive stereotype about the wolf people. All right.
Yeah. So, and it is. Yes, that's some really strong commentary.
But once again, I'm going like he has to so clearly be like, no, we don't, and it's just like right because nobody is really bad except for the following 4 people who are deemed bad by this story.
It does turn out that there are whole swaths of vampires and werewolves out there that are just nicey nice, and there's like just a couple of bad apples.
Yeah.
Just
a couple, man. They don't kill. So anyway, yes. Graham Greene has a heart attack, which makes me sad because it means, well, both good and bad that Graham Greene is not
he's in, he's out.
Yeah.
He's free.
Yeah, because
free.
Also
he gets to go into a better place, John.
Yeah, also on Echo, and he's wonderful on
and
that
so
show.
Good as you know he always is.
He's always amazing. That guy. I mean, Dances with Wolves, one of my favorite performances.
And he gets a pretty decent line in this. I liked where he goes, my kung fu is strong. To Bella. And it's just charming. Old man to young lady going, my kung fu is
once
strong.
Again, smart casting is just like, well, whatever's written, Graham Greene will be charming. Like that's it. That's the nature of it.
It's a given.
So anyway, Bella does does a cliff dive into the water, despite the warnings once again of Ghost
Edward.
Yeah.
And then Ghost Edward is under the water with her too. Kind of just floating around.
Okay, well, because she gets swept up by a wave and hits a rock, and I thought, whoa, the rules of Ghost Edward, how far are we going to take this? Because I thought, is he going to save her? That seems insane.
Very glad he didn't.
Yeah. That would have been something. No.
Also, she's being tracked underwater by U-boat
Victoria.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah.
But just before she gets him, she is saved by Jacob.
Who takes her to... Yeah.
And
I was just gonna say, Chris did not understand that this was like a coincidence thing where she jumped in while Victoria, and he assumed that she had just been swimming around in the water waiting for Bella. I was like, why isn't it that? That's funny. That's so funny.
Someday, Bella will go underwater, and I'm ready for her.
I'll be ready.
Yeah. I've been patrolling.
No, you think you're safe in the water, Bella. I can swim. So Jacob pulls her out of the water, and he does take her to the home of Sam, and is it Sam's fiance?
Yeah.
who has a horrible gash on her face from when he lost control.
Yeah.
And that made, once again,
she's warned,
little icky
don't
for me.
stare at her face.
But I'm going, this is a little icky. The way this is just sort of tossed off, and you're like, well, he horribly injured his fiance, and then was like, but he's real sorry about it.
Yeah, so much of these books is just, hey, you should stay with someone who hurts you because they're your soulmate. And
Yes. Yeah. A lot of this is just about weirdly violent true loves. And they're dangerous. They're all dangerous for some reason or another.
Did you ever read or see the sci-fi thing she wrote? I'm just curious how much of that isn't there.
Oh, the host or whatever.
I'm just wondering.
No, it has the
normal relationships in it.
No,
well, I don't think so. No.
No, it has I don't think she's same kind of themes.
I don't think she's capable of that.
Yeah, there's a creep factor that runs through all of
Well, I also like that you wrote these and that and nothing else.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't. I'm sure
she doesn't have to do anything ever again.
Right, but it's just interesting.
Doesn't have to move.
It does speak to
chair.
I don't think the craft of writing is her great passion.
No,
I do have to like. Oh no, I'm not defending.
I do have to say the Mormon Church makes some interesting points.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, it just makes me so sad that this is her. That she's, as we've said earlier, like she's so clearly writing what she thinks is romantic and sexy.
Yeah.
And it's clearly from someone who so deeply hates her own sexuality and desire.
And like, it's even more disturbing if it's just her expressing herself. Good on you. Not going to kink shame. What's weird to me about the success of the Twilight books, and then in a way for the older folks, the success of the 50 Shades, which is the same stories kind of,
and actually weird as kinky as it is, weirdly conservative.
Like, really, is there a quiet part in the brains of some heterosexual women where it's like, I kind of want to be with someone that's slightly dangerous and that's exciting?
I think because the thing I'll bring up being
the bad boy
being a
too.
Comics person, look at the people who really love the Joker Harley relationship.
Yeah.
Also concerning there.
And Jean Grey is famously attracted to Logan, even though she truly loves a upstanding man like Cyclops.
No, sir. No. I think actually maybe my Team Jacob thing makes more sense. I'm also Team Logan, of course.
No. Jean and Scott
never,
forever.
sir. Never,
I'm
sir.
not even hearing you.
Come on. All right, yeah.
Oh, wait, you think wait.
Well,
Jacob is the Scott Summers.
I guess that's
of
right.
The two of them. Come on.
You're right. Personality-wise, aesthetically though, it goes the other way, which is interesting.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
But yes, as you bring that up, you're right. He is meant to be. Although, like I said,
he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, and she does treat him like shit. But also, what they set up about him, and I do know the silly thing about what ends up happening to him. Anyway,
I won't end up with you, but your daughter is all mine.
It is very funny that like technically Edward and Jacob are the same trope. Are the I can't be with you because I'm too dangerous to be with you.
Yeah.
But Jacob this is why I'm Team Jacob. He's so less annoying about it.
He is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just isn't his whole personality.
His werewolfism, he's then pretty like, we got over that bump.
The other thing is because of the wounded woman that Sam got
Emily
his fiance.
is her name.
Sorry, yeah.
And actually, her name's Emily. Come on.
Yeah. Like what the fact we kept calling.
You're not paying attention.
We kept saying Anna Kendrick earlier,
and she makes what look like amazing muffins.
Yeah, but I was gonna say we kept saying Anna Kendrick earlier, and I looked it up again as I think I did in the first. Her name's Jessica. Still doesn't even sound right. It's like, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did remember.
But so Alice shows up because you gotta love Jacob going, vampires. I smell them. And it's Alice. And yes, this is the aforementioned Alice in her 1940s femme fatale outfit.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think she looks adorable. I've liked her character from the beginning, again, because she seems to be not a morose vampire.
Yeah,
she's
another performance with life in it.
Yeah. But here's the thing about her is that, and okay, I was confused at this. I know that Jacob went to Europe. I mean, Edward went to Europe. Where did the rest of the Cullens go? Because let's say she had that vision of Bella cliff diving and being in the water.
Yeah.
Doesn't know that she survived because it got blocked out by Jacob. Werewolves blocked my vision. What? Whatever. So where was she that she was able to get to Bella's place like the next day and go, oh, thank God you're alive. And Edward thinks you're dead.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter to the... You ask that like Stephanie Meyer put any thought into that at all.
And once again, this crowd doesn't care
when they go to Edward because, oh, he thought you died because of my vision somehow.
Yeah.
What did Alice call him? And by the way, can't they just pick up a phone? We do see Edward crush his cell phones.
So Edward was with her when he was with the Cullens when that happened, and then he went to Italy.
Oh, okay, but also very quickly because the way it's shot, it looks like it's kind of all simultaneous.
I say this not in defense because I know that Stephanie Meyer did not give a shit about it.
No,
but these guys are rich as hell.
Oh God,
yes,
they can private jet to Italy.
Yeah.
They can do that.
Yeah, I didn't sit there worried about like, hey, how's a teenager get on a flight to Italy? And I'm like,
that's because they do basically
that filthy Cullen
once
money.
they have to go save
literal blood
Edward.
money.
Yeah,
literal.
Well, you do think about what is he?
Olivia won the podcast.
That's true. That is very good. But I do think it is something, and we've seen other vampire stuff bring this up, where it's like, well, I have had, hundreds of years to accrue
hundreds of years
money.
To accrue wealth. Sure,
it makes sense. But so yeah, she's there, and then this is where I will say my team Jacob falters because when Edward calls and he's just like, yeah, no, she's dead. Click.
Yeah.
It's pretty shitty.
Yeah.
When she goes, why didn't you let me talk to him? He didn't ask for you.
Yeah.
Because what happens is Edward calls the Swan House to ask for the father because he's just convinced he knows Bella's dead. So he's asking the father, and instead he gets Jacob, who's like going, oh, God, it's my competition. Yeah. He's like, he doesn't say she's dead. He just goes, he's planning a funeral, which is correct.
Yeah, but he knows what he did.
This is where my joke at the very beginning about the masterful foreshadowing of Stephanie Meyer. Mm-hmm. This is the literal Romeo and Juliet scene.
Yes,
there is a misunderstanding.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I don't want to live without her, so I'm going to commit suicide. And the way to do that is to go to Italy, wear the Volturi and basically take my shirt off. Ooh, a big show of defiance, and walk out in public going, look at me. Here's one thing I'm very confused about. The vampire rule, you do not go around saying, I'm a vampire. You don't show yourself, whatever.
Right.
He doesn't go out and bite people's necks. He's walking out just to sparkle. And it would just be, if I were a person in Italy, glitter. Yes, I'd look around and go, who's the freak who's wearing the body glitter? That is all I would think. Yeah,
a flash mob's about to start. That's awesome.
A flash mob's about to start. That's all it is. Yeah.
Well, because he's also
throw some coins.
This also made me question the world of this and stuff like that. Right? He is going to a. I know, but I mean, it makes me ask interesting questions about how much people. No, because he goes to this city specifically where they are having a festival celebrating having run the vampires out of their town.
Yes.
So that implies that there are people who are like, well, there were vampires, but they're gone.
Well,
I think to them it's folkloric.
Yeah, and I think it's because the Volturi are there. There's like extra vampire lore, maybe.
That could be.
And
like
also
weird shit happens, and
there are a few humans working with them, and so there's kind of a conspiracy of silence going on.
Yeah,
I'm sure it all covered up.
That once again is my mistake for being invested or caring about that at all, though. Right?
I do. That is like a very evil vampire thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Is to live in a city where there's like
a celebration
an anti-vampire
running
festival.
them out.
Yeah, like that's.
But here's what I don't
understand.
That's funny. They're trying to be subtle. They're trying to be discreet, and yet they take an entire group of tourists in, and then just slaughter them. And I'm like,
no one's gonna miss them.
Are they doing that all the time? And that's not very subtle.
No,
I'm sorry.
No.
And plus, here's the thing: Bella doesn't put up nearly any kind of stink about that. She does look over her shoulder like, "Oh no," and I'm like, humans, children, are being slaughtered feet from you, and you're not going to be like, Edward, I can't be with you because look at the things that your people do.
And listen, the camera cuts and she's over it.
Yep.
Because she's back with
and she still wants to be one of these people. She still wants
to be a vampire, yeah.
We should mention before he goes to reveal himself. Before he goes and plans to reveal himself, he first asks the council if he can kill himself.
Yeah.
Which is a weird scene where he basically asks Michael, and look, I'll take it though because it's more Michael Sheen, who is just once again the only guy who's like, I am so happy to be here. I get it.
Well, he knows that really no one's going to pull him back, so he's allowed to go as broad as he wants. He injects life into this movie.
One of the reasons I love these classically trained Brits is it seems like most of them are hams at their core. They don't get to take that out very much because they are good actors who know not to do that. But they do know where they can do it. And this is...
So basically, the Volturi council there says, well, no, we're not going to give you permission because your gifts are too valuable. And I guess because you're mind reader vampire.
We need a mind reader guy around.
Yeah, so, and I keep wondering, like, let's say there are thousands of vampires around the world. Do they all just have special gifts, and he's the only one that can read minds?
They all individually have.
X-Men? Is there literally one that teleports? Is there one that can turn into?
Yeah, I want to meet Nightcrawler vampire.
I know you do, but regardless, so they say no. We're gonna have to turn him down, even though we know what you're about to do. We know that you're so sad you're gonna just commit suicide.
We're gonna make you do it though, right? Like it's like we're not gonna tell you it's okay.
And the suicide, it's suicide by cop because he's not really committing suicide. Right. He's breaking their law, which will force them.
Because we saw that earlier.
And tear his head off.
We did see that earlier. Michael Sheen pulled the guy's head off.
Literally pulled the guy's head off.
Which is how we saw the other guy. Is that the only way to kill a vampire in this world?
I guess.
Because that's how we. That's what we saw.
Could you help?
Yep.
How do you get rid of him?
Yeah,
you have to pull their heads off.
Because that's what we saw in the last movie. That's how they killed the bad guy in the last movie.
And burn the... we were discussing this last night while watching. I can't remember if it's you then have to burn the pieces so they don't regenerate.
Yeah, because they did have to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Once again, Stephanie Meyer cares.
So, sad Edward, who thinks that Bella's dead, has done what he's going to do, and luckily Alice and Bella have gotten to Italy in record
real
time.
Fast, because they literally... the slow
Alice
motion
being
running.
Precog is so handy, because she, instead of them having to do any kind of investigating, she just goes, he's going to do it at broad noon, and it's going to be over there by the church.
What a great plot device Alice is, right?
Yeah, and I can't get through this crowd of people in red robes, so you'll just have to truck. And I do like skinny little Kristen Stewart doing her action move. I'm going, this is where she thought up the Charlie's Angels thing. So she's running, and Jacob's already walking out, taking his shirt off, starting to glisten.
It's Edward.
Oh, sorry.
They're so radically different.
Yes. But he comes out to glisten in the sun, and there's one little girl in the crowd who looks around and, basically does mouth the word.
That's my favorite.
Mob.
Is that it's like, oh, thank God, only that one girl saw him.
Only one girl, and so the bell is striking, and they're probably all going to turn around and look at him. But instead, Bella just throws herself on top of him, like, "It's me!" And he's got his eyes shut. He's like, Bella, like he's having a fantasy, and she goes, "No, I'm really here. I'm actually alive, and you need to get back." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
No, it's that he thought that someone had ripped his head off and he had arrived in heaven.
Wow, that would have been very fast, but yeah, I could see that. Yeah. What is heaven for Edward other than having Bella tell him to step back?
Which is also kind of interesting because he's so certain he's going to go to hell because he's a vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
sort of a weird.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You'd think that maybe, these are tightly written, these books.
Yeah.
You'd think that maybe she would have figured that out. Anyway,
so beautifully crafted, yeah.
So he's very happy. This is all good, but the Volturi still show up, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't. They didn't see me. So just forget about it." And they're like, "No, they want to see you." Oh, okay. And she's like, "Wait, I'm going with him." They're like, "Yeah, no, you're coming with anyway."
Yeah. I'm
so
sorry, did we not
along."
say that you were supposed to come with him?
Right.
Michael Sheen also wants to see you.
So yeah, the Volturi are like, "Hey there, Bella Swan, how you doing? We've heard all about you and your awesome blood."
Into this meeting rolls up Dakota Fanning. What is her deal?
Yes. She must be like their assassin or their.
She's like they're tough.
Yeah, which is, again, I will say that is the way you do it. Is you have someone unassuming. She is, like China doll, perfect blonde, little dress, but she just looks at people and goes, "Pain," and they feel pain.
You know what? The coolest vampire power we've seen, by the way.
I do.
Pretty damn cool.
Does she have to say pain though in order for it to work?
She didn't with Bella. She
Yeah.
only did it with
true.
Edward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was just for the audience, so the audience would understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it definitely was.
She looked directly into camera and said, "I'm about to cause him pain."
Yeah, watch this.
I work with the Volturi. Just so you know, I'm going to cause him pain by staring at him. Okay, and now pain.
And so the whole thing here is
either
we're gonna kill this girl, or you can turn her by a certain date. That was a distinct now you're just forcing us to watch more of these.
They basically, they do that thing we said earlier where Michael Sheen is just like, "I've got to test to see if you are," because we know you're immune to
right.
Edward,
we get everybody using
try
their powers.
all our powers, and she apparently is. So they're like, "Great." So now
that will help us somehow.
You're gonna have to turn her.
Yeah.
And Edward's like, "I don't want to do that." Okay, well, do it by this time.
Yeah, or else, man.
Okay.
Or else. Fucking else.
And then Alice shows up and goes, "Actually, I have seen it. She will be one of us. She will wear ridiculous flouncy dresses and run through a field with Edward. Yeah. But I'll be the one to turn her."
Yeah.
Which actually I'm looking forward to because that sounds hot. But anyway,
what a great
I'm not
scene
the only one
was.
writing fan fiction where Alice and Bella.
You very much are not.
Oh.
All right.
Well, because once again,
but anyway,
a lot of
there's chemistry there too.
Well, because once again, in the writing and performance of the character of Alice, there is life.
Well, just like with Jacob, there's life. Yes, it's every time that Bella's with Alice or Jacob,
or even the same with Carlisle, the father, which we talked about too.
Yeah, with Edward, it's just serious mopiness. I'm like, okay,
they're
for an eternity, enjoy.
Most boring bummers of people.
But anyway, so that's the big thing. They're like, all right, you're free to leave.
Yeah, and so
and
I'm just like, great ending to a movie is just nothing's gonna happen, but something might happen later.
Yeah, and there's a scene where they imagine this. They have a talk, and they have a talk in the woods where it's like,
oh boy.
All right, 5 years from now. And she goes, "That's too long." And I'm thinking in my head, 5 years, 23. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Too long. And he goes, "All right, 3, because then technically you're legal." And
maybe she's legal now,
she goes,
but she can drink. Yeah, right.
And then she's like, "Right after graduation," and I'm like, "That sounds like a virgin." That literally sounds like as soon as possible.
Why not just say prom?
Thing?
Just fucking say prom.
Right
and get
after
it over.
prom.
We're gonna get a hotel room.
At prom, we'll get a hotel room.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to return that tux. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that is the plan, I suppose. Great.
But guess who?
I'm happy for
guess who wants to put a wrench in this plan?
Oh. The only time Jacob is not the guy that you'd root for is when he is up against his competition, because here he is doing that kind of like alpha male kind of thing of like, "Come on, bro, come at me."
These
like
two guys are going chest to chest, basically. Let's do it. Come on, man. You want to hit me?
Again, please forgive this if this comes across as naive or insulting, but you are the female currently that I'm talking to. Is that thing that
That's such a
women
dangerous way to begin.
I know.
You are the female that I am currently talking to.
Okay. I would ask another female. It's not just zeroing in on Olivia, but is that a thing that has ever actually been desired, as far as you know? Like, I want men to fight over me.
It's not about the fighting over them. I think it's about the
sense of
I'm so special that everyone secretly loves me, and
right.
That's I think
I get to do the thing of biting the knuckle and no, please don't.
Like everything, right? I think once again, I don't know, of course, not being the female on the panel, but it once again goes back to everything in these movies, which is a very specific type of woman, i.e., Stephanie Meyer. I think thinks that idea is hot.
Yeah, obviously. I was going to say, I don't think I have a special insight into...
No, I didn't mean that. It's just that is such a trope and has been forever.
And most of the time when I've heard women talk about it,
romantic often.
Isn't. It's fighting. Most women I've talked to who've experienced anything like that, it's a huge turnoff, because as soon as violence gets involved, it's like, whoa, okay, I don't like that's not.
Well, it doesn't necessarily need to be violent.
But there's an air of violence to it, right?
There's yeah. I am challenging you for her.
It's a toxic masculinity bullshit kind of thing.
So and that comes out here, and it is also, I did like, this was nice writing, I guess, or at least nice thought, wherever goes. I know exactly what you want to say to me. Can I say something first? And this is the class act. This is where Edward gets a point for me.
The one time I like this guy.
I just want to thank you for looking after her.
Beta. That's some beta shit right there.
That's some beta shit.
Alpha's only.
Why don't you take your shirt off, bro? Let's see what happens. Who's got the abs?
I want to thank you for saving her life while I wasn't here. And I'm like, good on you. That's gentlemanly.
And then
he's like, okay, great, but now it's my turn to talk. You're a bloodsucker. You suck. She needs to be with me.
I just love the idea of trying to go moral superiority of werewolf to vampire. I'm not sure that really... I don't know how that balances out, where it's just like, yeah, I'm a werewolf, but you're a fucking vampire, man.
Yeah.
Well, so in this, like, werewolves only exist to kill vampires.
That's right.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing. The mythology is...
So they're, like, not really monsters.
And this is where I totally lose Team Jacob, though, because she's like, I've made my choice, and he's like, we'll fucking see. And I'm like, ooh, that I don't like. That I don't like at all, because now it's not, I can't make up my mind. Yeah, because now that's getting into toxic stalker shit. And that's my concerns for the next movie.
And this is not me reflecting on anything.
I advise you to be careful, counselor.
Where she goes, I love you. I'm just going to choose him.
Yeah.
It's like, mixed signal. You can love me a little bit more, right? I bet if I'm cool, give me a few months to get even cooler. And then you'll be having doubts.
Yeah. And then
it's a mixed signal.
And then
you should just
Brendan. Were you as shocked as I was? This thing ends on a full-on cliffhanger.
Oh, certainly not someone rising from the deep.
But him just was, once again, he's an old-fashioned guy. He's got old-fashioned values, and he says, "Marry me, Bella." And the movie ends.
Oh, I know. I know.
What's she gonna say?
I can only guess. Yeah, he's like, I will turn you on one.
I think I have an
condition.
Idea. Yeah.
You marry me because Mormon lady's writing this book.
By the way,
that makes it okay that I will drain your blood.
And
you will live eternally draining other people's blood.
Animals' blood. She's a vegetarian. They're all vegetarian.
That's their thing, yeah. If you go to her Wikipedia page, Stephanie Meyer, which I just pulled up here, there is an entire section about the feminist debate about this woman identifying herself as a feminist, and feminist groups going, contrary to everything we've read that you've written, basically.
Oh boy.
Is it sort of a thing where it's true. Like, you can call yourself that, but basically every piece of pop culture you put out is the exact opposite of what we stand for.
It's true. Yeah. It's true.
So that's Twilight New Moon. I guess we'll have to wait a few weeks to find out whether she says yes to this marriage proposal.
I have a good idea on that, though.
I've got a couple of ideas, yeah.
I will end this
End it,
by
please.
saying you asked at the beginning, like, oh, Olivia, were you a fan? You know, how have these books affected your life? And here's a prime example. I said when y'all said you were going to be doing the Twilight movies, oh, cool, I call New Moon. That's my favorite one. It's not. I misremembered. Eclipse was the one I was talking about.
Now see, my sister's coming on for Eclipse because she's like, that's the one I like the best.
Yeah, it's because she's a fellow gentleman of culture, I see. It's
Well, I will say that one
is it something that we should look forward to, is what you're saying?
No.
The only thing I will say that I am mildly excited about Eclipse about is it is directed by David Slade, who also directed 30 Days of Night, and I think probably is the best director this franchise gets. Now, I'm not expecting him to inject any of that into Eclipse, but I'm just saying it is at least a director where I'm like, yeah, that guy is like a real deal. I don't know.
It's fair enough that you're, passively...
I'm hoping it's the best looking is the thing, right?
Sure. I mean, the material is going to be what the material is going to be,
right.
and the director can't do much with it.
We also do swap in Bryce Dallas Howard, who I love, and we'll see what she can do with a character who is still ill-defined completely. I do get why. I agree with you. I do get why this woman
Well, the only
left.
motivation that we know for why Victoria is just sticking around Forks is, hey, you killed my beloved, I'll kill you.
Yeah. And I love that was set up at the end of the last movie, like that was going to be a big thing, and it is such an afterthought in the plot of this movie.
She is just a burst of red hair every now and then running around or swimming, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this book of all of them really takes the, oh no, what matters here is the emotion.
Mm-hmm. Yes. This is a vibes movie, man.
Yeah.
And then I can't wait for them to split
everything turns out okay.
I just can't wait for them to split the last book into 2 movies. I'm sure that thing is just, both of those just going to truck along, man.
How many movies do we have left now? 7? 7 movies?
In this franchise, we have 3. There are 4 books, 5 movies. Could be worse.
Anyway, what's next week, John? How about you tell us what we got in store?
Well, I think we can all assume then that we do not recommend.
No, I don't recommend this at all.
Yeah.
And the people that were going to watch it have already watched it.
That's it exactly. It's like it doesn't matter. They don't need our opinion on that. Next week, Brandon, I think we're going to get some culture in our lives, at least based on this title. It's very French, the title at least. And that is, I hope you like the circus, because we are about to go to Cirque du Flic, the vampire's assistant.
Another middle reader, young adult book turned into a movie.
Uh-oh. Olivia, you familiar with it?
Yes, but
did you read that series?
I didn't, no.
Okay.
But I just I love the combo of these two in a row.
Back to back.
I think it's very telling, of course, that comes out the same year as the second one of these, because I think that was another studio going, quick, get another YA vampire thing. This will be big, and it didn't.
I am looking forward.
Off.
I keep saying this every week. I keep looking forward to the Wolfman, not because it's not an amazing film, but I kind of do want to get out of cartoony vampire werewolf land.
Yeah. Although I will say,
teenagers.
Once again, like, small caveat. The only thing I'm excited about next week's movie, John C. Reilly is the main vampire in it, and that does feel. It does feel like that is at least interesting, because I've never seen this movie. Him as a vampire, he's not immediately who you think of when you go get a vampire in a movie. Nope. So we'll see. I don't know much about it. Cirque du Freak, the vampire's assistant. Olivia, thank you so much for joining us.
Olivia.
Yeah.
Of course, people can hear you every week on the Punch Up Entertainment Network over on Material Components with Mike Gergoni and Olivia and Michael Listman and Reed Morris, who I don't think Reed has been on this show yet. I think everybody else has been on. But I don't think we've had Reed on Meet the Monsters.
Well, maybe Reed, who I have not met, maybe they're not a monster fan.
I think Reed is a guy who seems kind of open to anything, you know?
Yeah, he's down for.
Yeah.
He's just here to have a good time.
Yeah, Reed is a guy. I don't
right.
specifically. He's a guy who I don't
He's
necessarily.
the kind
think
of guy that if a psychotic hottie comes up and he's like, "Yeah, get on the back of
Oh,
my
that's
bike."
classic. Number one, the idea of Reed on a motorcycle really fits. Anyway, so yes, be sure you check that out and subscribe to that. But of course, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters. I'm John Campbell.
I'm Brendan Jones.
And remember, there are such things as monsters.
New moon on Monday and a fire dance through the night.